Opportunities for local participation in this undertaking are enormous.
Prospects of increased power generation in Nigeria as contract of one of Africa's biggest dam projects is signed in Abuja.
The government of Nigeria is very enthusiastic and very excited by the possibilities that this project holds for small businesses in particular.
ECOWAS Highway Corridor Project in focus. 9th Steering Ministerial Committee meeting holds in Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari receives leadership of Christian Association of Nigeria and Muslim Council of Nigeria, promises to address concerns about corruption and insecurity. And Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja gets aerodrome certification. Hello and welcome to NTN Network News. I'm Joseph Johnson. In our Lagos Network studio is Jennifer Igwe, and Lamia Lee is standing by in Maiduguri. And of course, Agatha Igwarojo is in Benin. Good to see you all, and thanks for your company. The dream for the realization of the biggest hydroelectric power project in Africa is now being realized with the signing of contract for 3,050 megawatt Mambila hydropower project. Correspondent Usman Aliu reports that this signing marks the beginning of the end of frustration of inefficient electricity affecting Nigeria's developmental course for a long time.
Mambila hydropower project was awarded at a Federal Executive Council meeting in August this year after failing to pass from planning stages over 40 years ago. At this moment, the federal government succeeded by engaging these three companies, CGCC, Sino Hydro, CGCOC, for execution of the project, hoping to be complete in 6 years at $5.7 billion.
The opportunities for local participation in this undertaking are enormous, and I assure Nigerians that they will have a place and a very, very important role to play.
It accounts for more than 150% of the existing hydropower plant in Nigeria. Secondly, this project is going to generate about 5,500 gigawatt hour of energy per year. This is clean energy, and like the minister said, this is also a project that is going to add to Nigerian contribution for climate change.
It's a history-making event because power is critical to the national infrastructure.
Mambila hydroelectric power comprise construction of 4 multipurpose dams for power generation and agricultural activities and 700 kilometers of transmission lines. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
With the signing of the contract for the construction of the Mambila hydroelectricity project and funding in the 2018 fiscal year, once again confirms the commitment of the Buhari administration to Nigeria's prosperity and strong political will to infrastructural development. Hamza Musa Makrafi, who has been following developments on the project, reports.
This is the major breakthrough in the execution of the Mambila hydropower project, with the 2018 fiscal year appropriation of 9.8 billion naira, including 8.5 billion as counterpart funding. In the company of guides at the project site, not a single monument to justify the vision for the project has been implemented for decades, even though a lot of money was expended since 1972, according to findings. However, the promise of change has manifested on prosperous vision for Nigeria, with the project no longer a dream. In the process of negotiations with the Chinese, the government secured cost reduction from the projected $6.6 billion to the agreed sum of $5.7 billion. The amount is inclusive of taxes, environment utilization, works, as well as project land acquisition and compensation to about 100,000 people who will be resettled. The importance of the project, therefore, are also multifaceted beyond the capacity to transform the communities in Taraba State to the entire country.
3,050 megawatts, for those of us who know what a megawatt is, can do a lot in developing Nigeria. That is a very good project for the country as a whole.
With President Buhari at the helm of affairs and his team, this is going to be a history. We believe that what we need today is development.
With high expectations on the prospects of the project, experts advise on full implementation of integrated approach on the construction of power evacuation and dam infrastructure. Hamza Musa Makaripi, NTA News.
Now, joining us in the studio to discuss more on the Mambila hydropower contract is Mr. Emmanuel Ajayi. He's the Director, Energy Resources. You're welcome to NTA Network News.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Now, Mambila hydropower plant is finally signed. A big sigh of relief for Nigerians, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, the question is, the project was conceived since 1972. That's about 45 years ago. But was delayed up until now. How significant is this achievement to this administration?
Yeah, it is very significant in the sense that even we that we are seated here, we were still in the secondary school when this project was conceived in 1972. And the way it is, 3,050 megawatts is a lot, considering the amount of power we generate now. And because it's also a renewable energy, it is environmental friendly. And it will increase job opportunities for Nigerians. And you know, evacuation covers up to from Abong to Jalingo, and then the second line to Makurdi. Along this route, there will be empowerment of states that are along the route.
Okay, yeah. And so sorry, let me just take you up on that. Yes, the project is expected to, generate 3,050 megawatts of electricity, just like you said.
Yes.
But how impactful would this be on the Nigeria's desire for industrial development?
Yeah, you see, when you have electricity, you have more industries, and the cost of business reduces because you are producing energy in quantum. And you have the diesel that we use, that we consume now, will be reduced drastically, and you have small-scale industries that will be coming up. The cost of doing business will also reduce generally across the country.
Okay, but tell me, how different is this Mambila hydro power plant project with other interventions by the federal government on its power sector reform? What makes this project different?
The quantum is one thing. The gigawatt hour we are producing, like the reporter said, is about 5,400 gigawatt hour per year. That's a lot of energy. And that is good for Nigerians, and it balances the power supply in the country. As you know, most of our power generation now is from gas. Now, Mambila coming in will balance the energy mix in the country, and there will be stability of the transmission grid, and reliability also in our network in general.
Yes, just before I let you go, the project is one of Africa's and indeed Nigeria's biggest dam projects. What else should Nigerians know about this Big Bang project, if you like?
Well, Nigerians should be happy with the administration because
I'm talking about the project now. What should Nigerians, what else should Nigerians know about this project?
Yeah, Nigerians should know that this project is very useful, and that it will really help the economic development of the country. That's what I can say.
What a way to round off the interview. Thank you very much indeed for coming on NTN Network News.
Thank you very much.
We've been speaking with Mr. Emmanuel Ajayi. He's Director Energy Resources, and he shared his thoughts on the Mambila hydropower plant contract, which has just been signed. Now let's turn to some of the other stories making the news at the moment. Nigeria and 4 other member nations of the ECOWAS are strengthening relations by construction of road infrastructure along the corridor with a view to improve on economic and social development of the region. To this end, the 9th Steering Committee ministerial meeting of the countries involved holds in Abuja. Correspondent Usman Aliyu again reports.
According to African Development Bank, intra-regional trade in West Africa is not more than 5%, but in Europe, trade among members is 69% and in Asia, 53%. Therefore, scaling up of infrastructure investment to improve connections between and within these ECOWAS members, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo and Benin Republic, is expected to provide necessary platforms to economic prosperity and improvement in social cohesion. Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, who declared the meeting open, restated the commitment of Nigeria towards ensuring that ECOWAS community and Africa achieve significant peace and development.
The government of Nigeria is very enthusiastic and very excited by the possibilities that this project holds for small businesses in particular. And these, of course, as you know, constitute the primary drivers of our national economies. We're equally excited by what the project portends from an ease of doing business perspective.
President of the ECOWAS Commission, Marcel Allen de Souza, noted that the commitment of the treaty signed revealed high interest by these countries on economic development. Ministers of the countries involved unanimously acknowledged the support and determination of their governments in actualizing the construction of Lagos-Abidjan Highway.
And we are now inching closer towards completing the preparatory work that gets the project ready for financing.
The African Development Bank, on its part, said it is financing the construction of several sections of the highway as it is priority to integrate Africa.
We remain fully committed to the 2020 ECOWAS vision that says that from ECOWAS of states, we move to ECOWAS of people.
Lagos-Abidjan Highway is estimated to cost $22.7 million. In Abuja, Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
The Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport has been presented with an aerodrome certification by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority in Abuja. This is in line with the best global practices of airport operations. Omenka Amarachuku completes the report.
Of international airport is a global strategy for fostering standards and uniformity with the aim of enhancing safety and efficiency. However, Abuja Airport remains very unique in the aerodrome certification project as the airport was provided with resurfaced runways. This, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Muta Osman, says the attainment of safety is quite significant in view of the fact that less than 25% of international airports in Africa and Indian Ocean region are satisfied.
What we intend to achieve by this is improving or increasing the level of safety, the efficiency, the capacity of the airport, and we'll leverage on those advantages that I've just mentioned. So at the end of the day, it is the airport user that will benefit most. All stakeholders will benefit most.
It's a great achievement in the sense that the certificate means we have complied with the required level of safety of our operations, and that will make, of course, operators into the airport very happy.
Nigeria today has become the first state to achieve the certification of more than one international airport in the African region. In Abuja, Umenka Amarachuku, NTA News.
In continuation of sectoral analysis of the 2018 budget estimates to the National Assembly for consideration, Mayor Ogede examines the role of the oil and gas sector to the actualization of the budget of consolidation.
The 2018 budget estimate is 8.6 trillion naira, and the oil and gas sector is expected to contribute 2.4 trillion naira in funding. That is if about 2.3 million barrels of crude is produced daily, sustained and sold for at least $45 per barrel. For industry watchers, these projections are attainable considering the 2017 experience. The successes in the 2017 budget are attributed to the relative peace in the Niger Delta region, impressive increase in the price of crude in the international market, and extended exemption to Nigeria by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries (OPEC) on output cuts imposed on member countries and other producers.
I think it's a beautiful benchmark, considering that today we are selling oil for more than $60 per barrel. In fact, this is comparatively better than last year, when the benchmark last year was higher than what we were selling oil. So I think we are in a better position this year.
12 billion naira was expected from the mining subsector as contribution of the solid minerals sector to the 2017 budget. Huge investments in the sector, prominently the 30 billion naira intervention fund and the 600,000 metric tons of asphalt through bitumen in Edo State to the road sector. Public affairs analysts are optimistic that the contributions from the solid minerals sector will impact on the 2018 budget of consolidation.
We need to close the gap. We need to make sure that our products are not being illegally exported. We need to make sure that illegal or unorganized mining don't happen. Talking of 12 billion, I should be talking of 120 billion.
I mean, everybody talks about the 500 billion going to Ministry of Power Works and Housing, but you forget that the quarries that produce the aggregates that go into the road construction come from this sector. You forget that the coal for power generation comes from this sector. So we are an indirect beneficiary of that 500 billion that you hear is going to Ministry of Power Works and Housing.
Hopes are high that with the early presentation of the budget, there will be enough time for implementation with commensurate outputs in terms of projects execution. Mayor Ogede, NT News.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to do whatever it takes within the limits of the law towards addressing rising concerns of corruption, insecurity and injustice across the country. The president gave the assurance while granting audience separately to the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, as well as the Muslim Council of Nigeria. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
It was the first formal meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and the umbrella bodies of the two major religions in the country. The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, led by its president, Reverend Olashipo Ayokunle, raised, among other issues of concern, allegations of lopsidedness in government appointments. President Buhari assured the CAN delegation that he had already given instructions for the submission of all the names of heads of federal parastatals for scrutiny with a view to ensuring fairness if need be. His administration, he also said, would ensure immediate reform as well as repositioning of the Nigeria police and judiciary as critical organs for national security and stability. As he told them behind closed doors, we need a good police force and judiciary to really maintain the legitimacy and confidence of the populace in governance. CAN President Reverend Olashipo Ayokunle commended the president's achievements in the fight against corruption and insecurity, but said more needs to be done in other areas of governance.
We were really humbled by his very candid response and humble response as well. I think this type of response, we came out of humility. We always make people to be ready to offer help for the government.
Receiving The leadership of the Muslim Council, President Muhammadu Buhari, said the federal government would always be guided by the rule of law and constitutionality in prosecuting all those found to have abused public trust. Corruption, he laments, had taken a cultural dimension in Nigeria and therefore urged religious leaders and well-meaning Nigerians to chart a supportive course towards reversing the trend. The Secretary General of the Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, Dr. Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, who led the Council of the Muslim Ummah on the visit, appealed to the President to pay more attention to the yearnings of Nigerians and continually walk in the fear of God.
I urge him to really add on top of what he's doing of good governance, the establishment of justice. All citizens of this country need to be treated justiciably and equitably and in fairness.
Both delegations had photo opportunities with the Nigerian leader. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Well, do stay with us here on NTA Network News. More reports would come your way after these messages.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, could all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning, in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
So, tell me, why invest in Anambra and not somewhere else?
Ready availability of skilled manpower.
What about security?
Watertight. What are the states in the country with the lowest crime rates?
Infrastructure?
Maka, guaranteed solid infrastructure.
And how about government policies?
Unmatchable. Government has even established the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, ANSIPA, to assist and accelerate things for investors.
How about the elections?
In the Anambra, the choice in this election is between having a tomorrow you're unsure of and one that points to greatness.
Let's vote for a greater tomorrow. Vote ABGA. Vote Willie Obiano. Better today, greater tomorrow.
Of the entire management and staff of National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, the DG and CEO, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, wishes to express sincere gratitude to the President and Commander of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for honoring our invitation to deliver the opening address and declaring the E-Nigeria 2017 conference open. Your acceptance to attend was a demonstration of your commitment and strong belief in using ICT as a major driver of developmental initiatives, governance, and economic reform plans. NITDA is proud to be part of Mr. President's ICT revolution. Thank you, Mr. President. We also wish to extend our appreciation to all National Assembly members, governors, ministers, academics, ICT stakeholders, and all other participants and the management of Nigeria Television Authority for their support. I also plead with all ICT stakeholders to join hands in the implementation of the communique of the conference issued. Long live Mr. President. Long live Federal Republic Republic of Nigeria. Long live ICT sector. Announcer, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami.
Win a share of 100 million naira with Malta Guinness. Find your code. SMS it with your name to 32011. 1 million naira plus cash and airtime prizes to be won every week. Malta Guinness. Let's go.
The Senate Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development advised the general public and stakeholders to a rescheduled one-day public hearing on the following bills: Legal Framework for the Inclusion of Cassava Policy Bill 2017 SB 152, National Livestock Bill 2017 SB 373, and National Fertilizer Quality Control Bill 2017 SB 338. The new date is now Tuesday, 14th November 2017. Time 12 noon. Venue Senate Conference Hall 0.22, New Building. Special guest of honor Senator Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki, President of the Senate. Host Senate Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development. Supported by Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Senator Dr. Abdullahi Adamu, Committee Chairman. Announcer.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Welcome back to NTN Network News. Now let's take you to Kwara State, where key players in Nigeria's water sector say access to clean and safe water is essential to achieving the desired prosperity and development in the country. This was part of submissions at the annual conference of the Nigeria Association of Hydrogeologists held in Ilorin, Kwara State. Correspondent Musbao Danwahab reports.
With the climate change taking its toll on water resources, evident from groundwater depletion, drought, desertification and flooding, Nigeria is feeling the impact, and the need for concerted effort towards implementing the principles of integrated water resources management need for immediate passage of the water bill before the National Assembly. Among other issues, hydrogeologists from across the country gathered here to deliberate on, with the theme, Strategies to Achieve Sustainable Development Goals in Water Resources. President, Nigeria Association of Hydrogeologists, says hydrogeologists in the country must up their game with knowledge of global best practices in the sustainable water resources management.
You can't have good health without access to potable water. And if you don't have good health, you can't be productive. In Nigeria, a sustainable venture.
Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed was represented, and other key players in their separate submissions expect a good roadmap from the conference for the attainment of the SDG Goal 6. Musbal and Rahab, NT News.
Nigerian farmers to enjoy tractor services capable of ensuring 14 metric tons of grains yield annually. Managing Director of the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending say the launch of this new strategy will boost revenue from agriculture to the tune of 1.4 trillion naira. Details with Leah Kachun Babatunde.
The Nigerian tractor, a sorry tale of a mechanical tool that comes with a heavy price but has a lifespan of just 8 months, oblivious of its capacity. They're littered all over the country but mostly fallow, abandoned and dejected, while the majority of farmers are still trapped in the past with hoes and cutlasses as their major farm implements. NISAL, in its bid to de-risk agriculture, is putting together a framework to not only revamp the large numbers of inactive tractors across the country, but to ensure 10,000 more are injected into the economy annually for the next 10 years.
Financing will be catalyzed by NASAL through commercial banks. Insurance companies will insure the whole project. Execution will be done by MECA, and the location for these services, the service centers will be provided by NASENI.
The agency is bringing together government at all levels, deposit money banks, insurance companies, and relevant bodies in the agriculture mechanization industry to attain full optimization of Nigeria's arable land.
NASAL is providing this enabling environment to make this happen by way of giving MECA a guarantee to access funding through commercial banks.
To provide value to agriculture in Nigeria.
NASENI and MECA are synergizing with workshops across the country to cater for agricultural mechanization. In Abuja, I'm Lekating Babatunde.
A bit on health. Minister of Health Isaac Adewale says federal government will continue to do everything possible to provide health care services to Nigerians. This was at the 60th National Council meeting in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Hakim Jumo reports.
The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, stated that the federal government is determined to reposition the economy by investing in the health sector to bring healthcare delivery services nearer to the people. The minister said that government is trying to build the people's confidence in the sector through the formation and implementation of people-oriented health policies and programs.
Stated that this has been adopted as the platform for achieving universal coverage. I want to thank the money for spreading this message, and I hope that we will continue to partner with us.
Ogun State Governor Bikola Amosun solicited the collaboration of stakeholders in the sector in the quest to tackle health challenges.
On our part, our administration will continue to support and collaborate with the federal government by using the state nationals, including media platforms, to increase the awareness of prevention, testing, and treatment of the aforementioned infectious diseases and others, such as tuberculosis.
The representatives of other development partners promised renewed collaboration with Nigeria, adding that the country has become a major player in the global economy. The theme of the 60th National Council on Health meeting is economic recovery and growth plan and the health sector matters arising. In Abeokuta, Hakim Jimo, NTA News.
In line with its mandate to equip Nigerians with technical and vocational skills for employability and entrepreneurship, the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, says it will soon establish an industrial skills training center in Gombe State.
Conceived by the ITF to, among other things, instill in the youths requisite technical skills for employability and entrepreneurship, the National Industrial Skills Development Program has so far trained over 100,000 Nigerians in over 30 trades and crafts. Director General of the fund, Sir Joseph Ari, used the forum to solicit the assistance of the Gombe State government to build structures for the proposed skills training center, while enabling tools and hardware for vocational skills training will be provided by the ITF to kickstart activities at the center.
Unlike in the previous phases where the ITF relied solely on the state governments for startup packs, the ITF will provide each beneficiary of this space with startup packs. I am pleased to state that so far the program has achieved most of its objectives.
Gombe State Governor Alhaji Ibrahim Dankwambo, who was represented, appreciated the ITF for the partnership to empower the youths of the state with skills and starter packs to start up their own businesses.
I am passionate about strongly any program that is geared toward the improvement of the well-being and living standard of the people, and particularly as it affects the youth.
When established in the state, the Industrial Skills Training Center will bring the total of the fund's ISTCs nationwide to 6.
In preparation for effective coverage of the 2018 Anambra Guber election, the NTA has held a one-day workshop for reporters, producers, cameramen and other operational staff at NTA Oka.
The director, NTA Enugu Zonal Center, Liyi Day, said the organization is poised to champion national development and deepening of democracy through efficient coverage of national and international events.
That responsibility is about training, and you must train continually.
Facilitator of the training, Mrs. Ngozi Nsien, who is a retired director of news, emphasized the need for accurate, balanced and objective reporting of events. The interactive workshop featured other discussants who took turns to address issues of professionalism and other core values of NTA in handling reports and programs in the election season and beyond.
We want to do it and do it well. We remind ourselves of the vital role NTA plays to achieve this national objective.
We have to do enough preparation. We have to plan very well. The General Manager NTA, Oka, Mrs. Marcelina Ihanach, pointed the need for collaboration and support in order to adequately provide needed facilities for effective operations.
Is a call to responsible and unbiased journalism.
Participants were drawn from stations under the NTA Enugu Zonal Center. In Oka, Ngozi Okekaro, NTA News.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Chief Victor Ikoye, says the party believes in one Nigeria and would support discipline and maintenance of party policies. This was at a rally in Owerri, Imo State capital. Ngozi Egbucholam has the details.
Led by one of the stalwarts of the People's Democratic Party in Imo State, Dr. Alex Obi, the defectors say they have observed the political progress and policies of the All Progressive Grand Alliance for a long time now. They added that they are impressed with their political fair playness. Welcoming them to the party, the national chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, Chief Victor Ikoye, remarked that the party believes in one Nigeria that supports discipline and maintenance of party policies, especially in the area of checks and balances on the elected members of the party.
ABGA is the platform that provide all the elected environment.
Most of the defectors were led to oath of allegiance. Among the defectors include Dr. Alex Obi and Chief Bright Nwanne. From Owerri, Ngozi Egbucholam, NTA News.
And Jennifer Igwe has the next set of reports from our Lagos studio. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Joseph. Good evening. Welcome to Lagos. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has described the abundant talent of Africans as impressive and says the continent has so much to offer the world. This was when he declared open the International Federation of Interior Architects and Designers Festival in Lagos. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has details.
Joseph Eze is a graduate of the University of Nigeria. His area of specialization is painting. Some of his works on display at this festival depict a major effect of globalization on Africans.
For instance, you see here someone having a traditional African look. But at the same time, at the background, you see Western environments. And you also see the Victorian dress and the Victorian neck line that tends to depict high experiences with the Western world, while at the same time still remaining African. So it shows that we cannot claim to be singular cultural individuals any longer. And that is what we're experiencing today as citizens of the globe, citizens of the world.
Eze may have expressed how the African man or woman has lost his or her citizenship to the world. A positive effect of globalization is that it has infused different kinds of traditional values, such as expressed here at this exhibition of pure African arts and modern arts. The Vice President believes this is still Africa, with so much human and natural resources it can offer to the world.
One of the very important things that I have seen about this continent is just the sheer range of talent and the sheer diversity of talent, not just here in Nigeria, but across Africa. And just going around today just brings to you that sense that this continent has so much that's going for it, so much that we can offer everyone, so much that we can offer the world.
With the fusion of cultures and with the fusion of what is best, there's nothing wrong with it. And other people are also copying from us, just as we're copying from them.
The history of our arts, the traditional pavilion, has influenced modern design and modern and contemporary art.
To Joseph Eze and these participants, art is love, which has brought them together. The more reason human race should show love to one another, a lesson in this era of globalization. In Lagos, Jide Onifade, NT News.
The Lagos High Court in Igboshire has dismissed 2 applications seeking to squash charges of murder and illegal sales of firearms preferred against alleged kidnapper Chukwudumeme Onwamadike alias Evans. Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo in the ruling described the application as misconceived and lacking in merit. Jane Ojukwu tells us more.
The defendant, Evans Chukwudumeme, was arraigned to face trial on the 2-count charge brought against him for kidnapping and possession of firearms, to which he pleaded not guilty. The second, a 7-count charge that borders on conspiracy, attempted kidnapping, possession of firearms, use of ammunition, and murder, were also read to the defendant. He pleaded not guilty. The defense counsel Olukayode Olugbeje brought a fresh application urging the court to quash the charges for duplicity and abuse of court process, arguing that possession of firearms is under federal law, which requires Lagos State to get a fiat before it can adjudicate on firearms offense. The Attorney General of Lagos State, Adeniji Kasim, who led the team of prosecution counsels, in his reaction argued that Lagos State had amended the charges and urged the court to proceed with the charges. The defense counsel argued that since Lagos State did not attach the proof of affidavit to the amended charges, that the 7-count charge should be nullified. In her ruling, Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo ruled that the defense counsel had made valid point, but that it does not warrant the quashing of the charges against the defendant. She ruled that the prosecution counsel should serve the defendant with the proof of affidavit to enable them prepare their case, and that it should be served before the next adjournment date. The case was adjourned to 15th of December 2017, when full trial of the defendant will commence. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
Now to business. Focus more and improve on the ease of doing business in Nigeria. A financial expert urges government as bank customers express deep concern over illegal deductions from their bank accounts. Advocates sanctions for offenders. Amechi Pius has details of these stories on our Business News segment.
Hello and welcome to Business News. Our financial expert, Johnson Chukwu, has commended the federal government for its foresight and commitment at improving on the ease of doing business in Nigeria. He said the initiative has opened up critical windows of opportunities for both domestic and foreign investors in the country.
Today, you can register a company within maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. We've seen improvement in consumer confidence. We've seen improvement in manufacturing confidence. We've seen improvement in supply of FX. So we should expect that in the near term, margins will improve, particularly as efforts are made to reduce the cost of funds. The government has already said they're going to switch their borrowing portfolio from naira-denominated debt to foreign currency-denominated debt so as to allow for improvement in local currency.
It's a fact today that Nigerians' ranking on the ease of doing business has improved from 169 to 145. Another tax expert, Christian Ekigwe, is advocating severe sanctions for illegal bank deductions in the country. He said this has become imperative given its negative implications on the banking industry.
If a bank charges someone 100 naira, hit them with 100 million naira fine to dissuade that kind of thing. That's how government fights for people when it is not either socially or economically not right or morally not right for them to fight. Just imagine hundreds of us living our work and fighting banks. So we'll be in a state of stagnation. Nobody will be going to, our work will be suffering while we are pursuing 100 naira. Nobody is going to do that. The government should do something about it. Close the gap between law and law enforcement.
Here are details of movement of stocks on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange today.
A look at trading showed that investors bought more than 175 million shares at 2.64 billion naira. Market capitalization was 12.84 trillion naira, while the all-share index closed at 37,120.28 points. Fort Oil, with a gain of 2 naira 1 kobo, was a top gainer, while CCNN shed 43 kobo to emerge the top loser.
And that ends business news. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.
Thank you, Amici. You're still on to NTA Network News. We have more reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
Glow's unbelievable prize extravaganza just turned the week upside down. Thousands of winners will win hundreds of millions in prizes. Recharge Monday and win a flat-screen TV. Ring in Recharge Tuesday with free 4G LTE phones. Recharge Wednesday and feel the power with free generators. Recharge Thursday with free fridges. Free microwaves make Friday free day. On Recharge Saturday, free Glow 4G MiFis. And just when you thought it couldn't get any bigger, a Sunday Recharge could win you a car. Recharge and win every day. The more you recharge, the better your chances. The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
One, two, three, get it. Where the B-boys at? Where they hip hop at? Where the B-boys at?
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
You're watching NTN Network News. Time now to join Lami in our Maiduguri Network studio for more reports. Lami, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Joseph. You're welcome to Maiduguri. The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Sadia Umar Farouk, says the Commission will work towards ensuring qualitative healthcare service across IDP camps in the Northeast. The Federal Commissioner stated this while flagging off a health and sanitation initiative for lactating mothers at Daluri IDP Camps 1 and 2 in Maiduguri. Abubakar Mohammed Musa was there and now reports.
Tact Durable Solution Program in the Northeast Clean and Healthy Campaign in collaboration with Health Development and Community Engagement Initiative, the health assistance is designed to educate lactating mothers on the importance of cleanliness and personal hygiene in the camp.
We have had a workshop about 4 days ago for 4 days to teach them on how to use this filter. And we've also selected some community members that will monitor the extent of how they're going to use this filter.
The beneficiaries expressed profound gratitude to the Federal Commissioner for the health tips and assured to justify the objective of the initiative. Meanwhile, the Federal Commissioner Sadia Umar Farouk has reopened the Northeast Zonal Office of the Commission in Maiduguri in company of Secretary to the State Government Usman Juddashua, who represented Borno State Government. Sadia Umar Farouk was also at Future Prowess Islamic Foundation School for Orphans in Maiduguri, where she presented instructional materials to the pupils. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
In line with the Chief of Army Staff's Barak Investment Program, the 7th Division of the Nigerian Army, Maiduguri, has organized a 2-day training to build capacity of officers and soldiers in various investment programs. Maimuna Garba was there and now reports.
It was designed to engage women and youths in all cantonments and barracks across the country to enable them engage in income-yielding ventures in areas such as animal husbandry, poultry and fish farming. To this effect, the 7th Division Nigerian Army Maiduguri deemed it necessary to organize the training for officers and soldiers, including executive committee members of the Wolf Unity Cooperative Society, toward boosting the economic empowerment project.
The division has invited the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations to facilitate the establishment of small-scale agro-allied businesses for widows here in the Malari cantonment.
The division supported projects like establishment of cattle ranch, 7 Div abattoir, and advancement of soft loans to some women in Malari cantonment and Giwa barracks, among others. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
And that's a wrap on this end. It's back to Abuja with Joseph.
Thank you, Lami. And from Maiduguri, we join Agatha in Benin for more reports. Agatha?
Thank you, Joseph. Good evening and welcome to Benin. President Muhammadu Buhari has called for effective collaboration between the state governments and investors across the globe to build an enduring economy. He made the call while declaring open the maiden edition of the Edo State Investment Summit, christened Alaudao 2017. Goodluck Inaini reports that the president was represented by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enelama.
Captains of industry, investment group, policy makers, and members from the diplomatic community converge on Benin City, the Edo State capital, for the maiden edition of the Edo State Investment Summit, christened Alaudaro, with a theme and vision in the future. The focus of this summit is to build Edo State into the preferred investment destination.
The reason why we gather in conferences or summits like this is to bring together all those various stakeholders in a way that can lead to purposeful movement forward. And I know that Edo State means business.
Governor Godwin Obaseki said the summit will serve as an opportunity to build in a solid friendship partnership with the investors.
We should continue to encourage and reconcile ourselves with the president in order to advance into the future.
In a keynote address, Alhaji Aliko Dangote identified friendly economic policies as catalysts to economic growth.
The relationship between the public and the private sector at both state and federal levels should be symbiotic.
The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibajo, is expected to perform the groundbreaking of the first industrial park in Benin City, Saturday, the 11th of this month. In Benin, I am Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
And in Ondo State, the governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, has tasked militants to embrace legitimate activities geared towards engendering peace and development in the region. This was at the proclamation of the federal government's amnesty for armed youths in the Niger Delta area of the state. Doris Solumoko reports that they have 21 days to surrender their arms.
The Ijaw-Ilaja crisis of 1998 made it possible for free flow of arms into the Niger Delta region of Edo State, and when peace was restored, government efforts to mop up the arms was not successful as the armed youths continuously engaged in militant activities, including the kidnap of students from Lagos recently, which necessitated the federal government intervention to end the menace.
Let us drop our arms and be hopeful for a better life.
The consequences of not taking advantage of this very good opportunity can be very, very grave.
We are ready to submit our arms.
5 collection centers have been opened for the collection of arms in Igbekebo, Arugbo, Ugbonla, Ajakpa, and Igbokoda within the 21-day moratorium period. In Akure, Doris Ulumoko, NTA News.
And that's it from the heartbeat of the nation. Joseph continues the news in Abuja.
Thank you, Agatha. Another commercial break beckons. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
So much for inspiring greatness in me, Alaji.
Alaji?
I am just rehearsing, dear.
Rehearsing for what?
A life-changing and inspiring meeting.
With who?
Alhaji Aliko Dangote.
With the FGNI app and just 500 Naira, you stand a chance to meet one-on-one with Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man. As the Be Inspired meetings give Nigerians a chance to meet one-on-one with icons. To qualify for the draw, download FGNI app from Apple Store or Google Play Store. Go to the Be Inspired section and follow the instructions. Cost of travel and accommodation of all winners within Nigeria will be borne by the organizers.
Entries close at midnight on Sunday, 12th of November, 2017.
Term.
Now, wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has condoled with the family of Senator Danjuma Goje, the government and the people of Gombe State over the death of the wife of Senator Danjuma Goje, Haja Yelwa Goje, who died in a private hospital in the United States of America after a protracted illness. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports.
Accompanied by her entourage, the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, was received at the airport in Gombe by the governor of the state, Ibrahim Hassan Dankombo, alongside his wife, Adama, and proceeded to the family house of Senator Danjuma Goje in Pantami, Gombe State. Mrs. Buhari described late Haja Yelwa Fatima Goje as a source of inspiration by all, a mother par excellence and a pillar of support to people of Gombe State, especially women and children. While praying to God to grant her eternal rest, the wife of the president also prayed to God to give her husband, Senator Goje, and the entire family the fortitude to bear the loss. Senator Danjuma Goje responded.
I thank her for taking the trouble of coming here physically to our family house to condole us. I also want to seize this opportunity to thank His Excellency the President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for taking a lot of actions. He called me immediately after the death.
Mrs. Buhari has since returned to Abuja. In Gombe, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
And now a quick look at the weather forecast for Saturday.